Kentucky basketball fans, take a little time off of following the hoops team between games. Give us a few minutes here to talk Kentucky football. Yes, football in January, because there's a lot of offseason news with National Signing Day straight ahead, 1 week away. We bring in Kevin McGuffey from Last Word on College Football. Kevin, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Mark. It's always good to talk to you. And as you said, it's sometimes can be a little weird talking about football in January in Kentucky, but yet here we are because we're getting close to signing day.
Absolutely. And of course, it's not what it's been in the past. So this time last year, everybody's still available technically, waiting to be signed. But right now, we've got a case where that early signing period meant about 80% of the big schools signed that much talent. So there's a few spots left, a few key spots. I've been sifting through the top players in the nation and coming up with about 10%, 15% that are still available, and trying to match up where they may head. With Kentucky's early signing period, the 247 rankings have them at 11th in the SEC, number 36 in the nation. Unfortunately, though you've got 20 signed, there was one commit out there that you thought you had that has turned south on you, literally.
Yeah, Xavier Peters, he's a linebacker out of Ohio. He was Kentucky's highest rated commitment on the defensive side of the ball. Of all the players that Kentucky had in the fold, they thought for 2018, he's the only one who didn't sign on back on December 20th on the signing day. And of course, right then, it started to raise red flags. The coaches were pushing hard, like, come on, sign. We got plenty of playing time for you in the future. Come on to Kentucky, and he never would sign. And then shortly thereafter, he started scheduling visits. Like Florida State, Florida, Miami, and then he visited Tallahassee this weekend and basically flipped his commitment, and now he's a solid Florida State commit. So it's it's a pretty big loss for the Cats on that one. He as I said, he was our highest rated incoming defensive player, and Kentucky's going to lose 3/4 of their starting linebacking core next year. Josh Allen and Denzel Ware and Jordan Jones will all be gone after this season. So somebody could come in and have almost instant playing time. Another player that they're looking at, okay, this guy went somewhere else, so now we got to find somebody to fill that role. Is another player from Ohio. His name's Christopher Oates. He's outside linebacker, also from Ohio. Kentucky's really been in on him. The unfortunate thing is apparently Ohio State is really high on him too now all of a sudden, and he's scheduled to visit Columbus this weekend. So if he could come, from a Kentucky standpoint, if they could come out of that visit with him not committing, then if you look at a lot of the recruiting experts say, then they may have a really good chance of getting him. But like I said, it's never a good sign when somebody's going to schedule a visit to a school, the weekend before, basically the weekend before signing day. So that's a position, that they're going to have to address. There's been talk maybe like graduate transfer. They may go, looking somebody in that position. But the other positions are pretty well set, with the exception of the running back. I don't think it'd be too much of a stretch to say that this will be more than likely Benny Snell's last year in Lexington. He will be a junior, and I think if he has the type of season he had in 2017, I think will hit the go for the draft. They have two guys, Siam King and AJ Rose, who will still be here, and they've got a couple of guys they're looking at. One guy in particular, his name's Kavosi Smoke. A good name, nice name for a running back. He's rated 29th, I believe, by Rivals as far as running backs, and I think he's the fourth. If I remember correctly, he's the fourth highest uncommitted running back in the 2018 class. He visited Kentucky last weekend and is also looking at North Carolina and Florida Atlantic are the other two schools. And surprising, at least to me, he has seemed to be a North Carolina lean, but they're hoping, from all reports, the visit went really well. You know, and if they could get him, that would be a huge, you know, a huge pickup for the Cats. Get the fourth best uncommitted, you know, running back. So, like I said, linebacker and running back, those are the two areas where I still think they might need a little work. But as I said, if they don't get any of those guys, they can always, we'll try again next year for 2019.